Hi, just another video about the subject of changing and what it takes to change, and this idea of hitting rock bottom. And hitting rock bottom is an interesting concept. In a way, it's a little bit like, I'm just closing down a little bit. It's a bit like a label. Um, and see, I was looking up the history of the expression. It seems to come from sort of mid 19th century and has a connotation of being really something very, very, very low, just the lowest point of your life, and very, very negative connotation, obviously. But whether that applies to you, if you're watching this and you've got an issue with addiction and you're thinking about, do I need to do something about it? Like, what is rock bottom for somebody, and does it even exist? Because it's something that's completely different for everybody. Um, it could be, for instance, somebody, maybe an employer, having a chat with you about, well, your work performances, we've noticed some issues, and getting a warning or something, and potentially maybe losing your job, or maybe your spouse has said, well, look, I've had enough of the gambling, you need to sort it out, or I'm going to walk, or you feel your marriage is going to break down, or maybe you get a health scare and that's something that you need to sort out, or it's really worrying you. Or it could be a combination of these issues, or it could be just one, it could be a comment that somebody makes. And then for other people, it could be a series of all of these, and still not actually be enough to make the person want to change, or to make the person want to do something and go into recovery and overcome their addiction. So it's quite a complex, it's a quite a complex topic, and it is sort of hitting rock bottom has this image, this idea of being, sort of thrown out on the street and being homeless, and just being absolutely destitute. And sadly, in a lot of cases, that is what happens. And that is a terrible position to be in. And it really is rock bottom, there's no question about that. But often people don't even recover from that, and it has even worse consequences. So that sort of idea of hitting rock bottom and, oh, well, you're just going to bounce back from that and suddenly see the light and you get this thunderbolt, is in reality doesn't necessarily happen, because we're dealing with human nature, and human nature is very complex, and people have different, or at different stages, and different things going on in everybody's life. Everyone is different. But again, I say hitting rock bottom is this. It seems to be a sort of a label that's quite used. I don't know if it is helpful. I think it tends to put a kind of maybe a framework on the whole idea of addiction, and to give this notion that, well, there is a point, a low point that you can just bounce, recover from when you hit rock bottom. You've nowhere else to go. And maybe it's a way of kind of giving people hope to, um, well, if you get to this point, then there's only one way, and the only way is up. But it is debatable, because, say, not everybody responds to that. So I guess the point I'm trying to ask is, what is your sort of rock bottom, for want of a better term? What is it that would make you think about change, and what is it that would really trigger you to, okay, I actually need to do something about this, because yes, I'm muddling along, but it's really causing problems in my life, and I'm muddling along. I'm kind of used to it, because your mind gets used to it, familiarity and all of that. But it's still something that in your deep down, you need to do something about it. So what is it that you think you would? What is going to push you to change? What is it that's going to make you actually go to a group, go to an online or a face-to-face group, or pick up the phone and call your doctor, or try to seek some form of help or therapy from somebody? And often it does take a lot to have happened before somebody gets to that stage. And that's kind of the sad thing about addiction. It's just one of those conditions. Um, Hopefully, it won't take that long for everybody, and that sort of insight comes along sooner rather than later. Um, but really, the point is that it's just so different from for everybody, and hitting rock bottom is not this one place that everybody goes to. Like I say, it could be one thing that could just trigger it for a person, and for someone else, take a multitude of events and really to absolutely lose everything before they actually decide, well, I'm going to need help here. And also, it can't be predicted. It's difficult because I'm asking this question now and hoping that I'll trigger some, questioning, self-questioning, and thinking about this. But even if you have an idea that you think, well, look, if that happens, then I would absolutely do something about it. Then that's you won't necessarily um, conclude that it's not necessarily the case. But at least thinking about it and having those thoughts there is helpful, because that's going to be the step forward, and that is really what I'm getting at, because that means that at least the cogs are turning, at least the process has started. And that's really important, to get that process started, to get those thoughts going, and to start thinking about, okay, maybe I need to do something here. It's not going to be so bad. Yeah, it could be difficult, it's going to be tough, but it's going to be worth it, because it's to use that much beaten about cliche, it is a journey. It doesn't have to be long, but it's a little bit of a journey for everybody. It's a growth. It's a growth and a development process. But overcoming that takes that initial, those thoughts, and gathering those thoughts. And so you're sort of creating a platform from which to bounce from. You have to create that platform, that solid platform of, okay, I'm going to move from here. Okay, so have a think about that, and I hope that's been helpful. Have a nice evening. Bye for now.